Buddy, thanks for being here. And at the end of a busy day, it's felt like Thursday all day to me, so I'm going to pay the price tomorrow and Friday for that. But we want to welcome you to a virtual field trip training. We're going to make this as painless as possible. If I haven't had the opportunity to meet you yet, my name's Chris Dazer. I'm the Director of Science Discovery Education. Our department has all of the science field trip facilities, including the planetarium, the hands-on science center, the Omni Room at Lady Bird Johnson, and of course the Outdoor Learning Center, the Elise Walker Outdoor Learning Center. Did any of you have an opportunity to go there yet? Has anybody been to?
Well, not this year, huh?
No,
but in the past.
Have to be a couple of years ago. Well, it's a shame because we miss you, and we missed you so much. We tried to put everything together into a self-contained experience and program with activities that are engaging and fun for your kids that are not a stressor on you. We even delayed the delivery of our fifth grade kits at the fifth grade field trips. It's because it was around Christmas time, and by then everybody was ready to run screaming for the door. So with that in mind, we've got time between now and the end of the year. I'm going to let Miss Garner, let me introduce her. This is Julie Garner. She's the instructional specialist out at the Outdoor Learning Center. And she is hands-on with all the field trips when your kids arrive, and works with the presenters who work with your kids, and we do all the training scheduling. When we do return to normal, our new normal, we will continue the practice of scheduling the trips, and we also pay for the transportation for the buses. So it's kind of a win-win for you guys and us. There is a unique feature in this field trip experience that we're really proud of, and I'm going to let Julie go into the details about it. But we did put together a board game for the kids, and it's, we try to give our math friends a little help when we can. So we'll make the kids count and roll the dice and move their figures, and it's really a good game, and it's a fun game. So with that, and if you guys have questions throughout this, please just hit us up in the chat room or email. That's fine too. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Julie Garner.
Okay, like you said, we have missed you guys really bad, and it has been 2 years. Oh my goodness. So next year maybe let's just be gangbusters and have a blast. But seriously, I'll talk about the game later, but oh my gosh, you're gonna love it. So we're gonna jump right in. So I'm gonna share my screen, and okay, so in your tubs, you got a teacher guide that includes all 4 stations. They're the TEKs that they cover, the concepts, vocabulary, activities that they'll do inside in their OLC at home kit, what comes in their kit that goes with this particular station, and then books that are connected to it, and whether they can find that book in the Irving ISD libraries or the City of Irving libraries. And I picked books that were found in either one of those places, not ones they couldn't find anywhere. And like you said, if you have any questions, put it in the chat room and we'll get to them. All right, so when you go to our website, you are going to see, this is the picture that's on it. And this is a link, but you don't even need the link. You can just go to Irving ISD and go to departments, and Outdoor Learning Center has its own little thing that you can click on. But this is all the stuff that you're going to have available to you, and I will go through each one of these with you. This is just the virtual page. You also have a what happens when there's not a pandemic page that has links on it for you as well. So brain breaks and fun facts. Brain breaks are stretches since we've been sitting in our computer so much. Fun facts are just that. The animals, plants, fungus that live here at the Outdoor Learning Center. We put together videos about some of those. Wild animal breaks, you'll see embedded in the stations, but you also have access to them whenever you want. The teacher guide is connected to that page as well. And the videos, the thumbnails of each of the stations, that's, if you click on that, you're going to get to the YouTube video, so you can watch any one that you want to at any time. There are seesaw activities that we created that go along with each station, almost like a review of each station. And then there's the cover sheet and the field guide that come in the kids' kits, are also, you can access those there as well. And then the game of trails is also on the webpage. I don't think the board game isn't there for you to print off, but it's on the webpage. So let's look real quick at the brain break. So this is, I gave you, this is an abbreviated brain break. So if you want to get up and do the stretch, it's a really good one. It feels great. Do it if you want. These stretches are inspired by our bobcat. And then the second part is what we like to see all cats doing. So if you'll stand up and grab the edge of your table, and what you're going to do is step back, keep your hands on your table, step back, and then stretch backwards and stretch out those shoulders. I have found that this really feels good after sitting in front of a computer for a while. So stretch and hold it for at least a count of 10. Stand back up and do this 3, 4, 5 times. It just feels so good. Okay, so that's a short version of the bobcat stretch. And then there are fun facts. Let's see, hang on. Okay. And then as you go down the web page, you'll see each station has its own information. And like I said, the thumbnail, you click on that, you're going to get to the video. So I've also abbreviated one of these so you can watch it. It's not short, but it gives you a good idea of what the kids are going to be looking at. And every picture and video that you see on any of this stuff actually comes from the Outdoor Learning Center. We have game cameras set up that have gotten all these pictures and the video footage.
Welcome to the second grade physical characteristics station at the Elise Walker Outdoor Learning Center. For this station, you're going to need your OLC at-home kit, and out of that, we're going to take the field guide, the 3 masks, the popsicle stick.
There's multiple.
You're also going to need some crayons, some glue or tape, whichever one you want to use, and some scissors. So you might want to get ready. You can pause while you get your stuff. So here we are at the physical characteristics station. Now, what are physical characteristics? Those are the things like the body parts of an animal that help it to live where it lives. So I'm going to look inside my nature bag. So I see in here a fish. Okay, a fish is a good example of physical characteristics because where does it live? In the water. What does it need to live in the water? It needs fins so it can move through the water. It needs a tail to help it move through the water. It needs gills so it can breathe in the water. So those are physical characteristics. This one has a large mouth, okay? Another physical characteristic for what it eats. So let's see what else we have in here. I wonder what are the things that we could look at. Let's see here. Oh, check this out. look at this. Do you know what this is? This is a skull. Skulls can tell us a lot about the physical characteristics of animals. Look where the eye holes are. These are where the eyes are. The way the eyes face, they can tell you a lot. We can look at the teeth. Can you see that this one has some sharp, pointy teeth that are shaped more like triangles than rectangles? So let's do all those hand motions, that the answers that we can find from a skull. Let's do all those again. Eyes in the front, like to hunt. Eyes on the side, like to hide. Triangle teeth, eat meat. Rectangle teeth, eat plants. Good job. Now, what else do we have in our nature bag? And then the last thing I see in my bag are 3 masks. We'll see what that has to do with us in just a minute.
Before we open our field guides, let's take a wild animal break. This wild animal is most active when the sun is coming up and when the sun is going down. They're related to our dogs that we have as pets, but these are not meant to be pets. This animal is a coyote. Now it's time to get into our field guide. We're going to be using pages 5 and 6 in your field guide, and they look like this. We're going to record some information now about some of the animals at the Outdoor Learning Center. The first one we're going to look at is the coyote. He's right here on your data chart. The first thing we're going to look at are his eyes. So on your chart, eyes is the first column, and we need to decide if the coyote's eyes are facing front or facing to the side. So let's look at the skull. And the eye holes will show us, and these arrows are helping, that the eyes are facing forward. So you are going to write in your chart, mark an X under front or side, whichever one you think is right. For each one of these, I will give you 10 seconds, and the seconds bar looks like this. And you'll have 10 seconds to write your answer. And the X should be under front because the coyote's eyes face front. Eyes in front like to hunt. If you look at your chart, you see that teeth are next. So we're going to look at the coyote's skull to look at his teeth. So here are those teeth. They're called canine teeth, and to me, they look like triangles. So you need to decide where you're going to put your X for the coyote, under the triangle or under the rectangle. You have 10 seconds. And here's where I put the X. Remember that triangle teeth eat meat. The next thing we'll look at on your chart are the feet. So you need to decide what the feet are used for. So let's look at this coyote paw print. And you can see the claws are out because they make a mark in the sand. So his claws are always out to help with him in case he sees something he wants to chase after, and he can dig into the ground and take off really fast. Now to decide what you want to write in the feet column, there is the box that gives you clues. So you could write something like climb, swim, fight, grab, speed, or dig. What do a coyote's feet help him do? You have 10 seconds. If you need more time, you can pause the video. I wrote speed because those feet help him go really fast. The last thing on our chart that we're going to look at is the fur, and we have to decide if his fur blends in or if it stands out. So what do you think? You have 10 seconds. I said that it blends in because he was the same color as the grasses and the dirt around him. Last animal on your chart is the raccoon. So this is what we're going to cover now. The first thing we'll look at for the raccoon are the eyes. And if you look at the skull, you can see which way the arrows are pointing. And look at this picture. His eyes are glowing in the camera, and that might help you decide if they're to the front or to the side. So you have 10 seconds. And I put my X here. It's time to look at the feet. And these feet look a lot like our hands. So in this mud, we see some raccoon paw prints. Right here's a really good one. So you can see that paw print right in the mud. And here you see it washing its hands. And then it's going to come up the creek and it's feeling around for food. It's looking for crawdads, but it's really using those paws. And it's going to almost catch one, but he lets go. All right, you're going to have 10 seconds to write in the feet box what you think the feet are good for. I said his paws are good for grabbing. Before we move on to the next activity, let's take another wild animal break. This bird has special physical characteristics too. It's got eyes that help it see at night. It's got a beak instead of teeth that help it tear things apart to eat, which is what it's doing right now. Its legs don't have paws, but have claws. And it's got wings instead of front legs. And instead of fur, it has feathers. This animal is a screech owl here at the Outdoor Learning Center. It's time to color your masks, so pick the one you want to start with. The first thing you'll need to do is color your masks. So choose the colors you want and color away. Go ahead and pause the video until you're finished coloring. And now it's time to cut out our masks. So we're going to start by cutting out the eye. Okay, once you're finished cutting it out, we're going to flip it over. We're going to take our stick and we're going to either glue or tape it. So we're going to show you how to glue it. Hey, one of my favorite things about the OLC at-home kit is the game. So don't forget to play the game. It's all about the Outdoor Learning Center's trails and the animals and the plants that live here and the things that we use on the trails. And there's the adventure field guide that tells you exactly what to do. And it is so fun. And you get to use the bears that wear backpacks as your playing pieces, and you can play with a friend. Don't forget to play the game. Thanks for joining us at this station. We hope you had a good time. See you next time. Okay. Thanks for your patience. All right. Going to present. And Chris, if you see any questions that are on the chat, you can go ahead and read them while we're going. Oh yeah. Let me show you. Let me go back. Hang on. Underneath the video link is the seesaw activity that goes with it. So give you an example. of what this looks like. Got to move you guys over here. Okay, so in this particular one, they would click on a text box and write in their answer. So they're comparing a plant eater to a meat eater, basically, on the first one. And then on the second page, they're going to drag the animals as opposed to where they belong. And it goes along with what they've just seen on the video. And then the camouflage, this one, they just need to circle all the skins. There are 6 furs in this picture, but camouflage is so good that it's really hard to find more than 2 or 3. So that's just a quick view of that particular seesaw activity. Okay, and then down at the bottom of the web page, you'll see underneath the game link, there's this seesaw activity that is just kind of a random one, but it's just a little trail map at the Outdoor Learning Center where they have to follow the directions north, east, southwest, and going 3 dots, 2 dots, and all that. It's really fun. The mouse is trying to get to the seeds in the treasure box. And on the website also, there are 2 parts that are written in Spanish as well. The field guide and the game adventure field guide are both done in Spanish as well, if you need access to that. And so what the kids will get in their kits are the cover sheet, which shows what all goes with what. And if you'll notice, there are shapes, the blue triangles, the green hexagons, etc. The pages in the field guide go with that. So some kids will need to make the connection that, oh, wait, this doesn't have the same shape, or these shapes go together, so they know which pages go together. And then on the back of that page is a book list for them, and it tells them where they could get the book. If they're interested in any of these particular stations, they can look at books that are related to that. And then you have the field guide, and on the front of the field guide, what you're going to see is this QR code. So if they have a question for me about anything about this virtual visit, whether it's something in the wild animal breaks, they want more information about bobcats, or do your bobcats do this, or how many do you have, or any questions they have, this will go to a Google form and they can ask me the question and I can get the answer back to them. And I will also let you know that one of your students asked a question. And then if they don't have a QR reader, here's a link to one that they can use on their device if their camera doesn't work and doesn't do that or whatever. Also, every QR code in the field guide also has the link written out, so they could just type it in if they want to do that. So these are all the pages, and you can see the colored shapes in the corners that go, that match. And then the very last page is for the wild animal break. So it's kind of a different activity. If you want to set them with the wild animal breaks, and they can watch them and write down what animal did they see, what was the setting, where was it by a creek, was it by a sand pile, or where was it day or night, and a fact that they learned about it. This is just an extra thing if you want them to use that. And then let's see here. The things that are in the kit that aren't the field guide and the cover sheet are going to be, there's a kit for them to make the bracelet themselves. Usually when they're here, they get the bracelet that looks like this, fully made. We tie it on because we don't have time to put them together when they're here. But we've given them, there are instructions, there's a video for them to watch on how to put it together. I think it's actually embedded into the Life Cycles video. And then the booklet is Time at the OLC, what happens in different seasons that causes hibernation, migration, dormancy, and I added storing up because that happens a lot here as well. And then you have the 3 masks with 3 popsicle sticks. And then you have the game that includes the game board, the adventure field guide, and the playing pieces and the die. And yeah, the game was so much fun to make, and it is so much fun to play. I have played it with my grandsons who are 5 and 7. I have played it with people in their 20s and 30s. people in their 50s, people in their 80s, and we all had fun every time we played. So there's activities that you have to do, and my grandsons will do them with me. If I land on something and I have to do a certain thing, they'll do it too because they love doing it. And also, if your kids are remote, you could actually play this with somebody who's not in the room with you if they also have a game, because you just need to roll the dice and keep moving. And so you can be together or not when you play this game. And I really encourage you to play it because it's just a whole lot of fun. And it reviews every one of the stations. There's something on here that goes with every station. So there's a lot of good review. So anyway, enjoy that. After you've had a chance to use this with your students, if you will fill out the survey, it's a 5-question survey, and it helps us know how to get better, because we always love input, because we just want to be the best we can be. And if you're going to help us do that, that's awesome. So we're going to have a drawing, and what it's been set at is, of all the people that fill out the survey, we'll pick 3 names and give them some honey that was made by the bees here at the Outdoor Learning Center. We have 4 bee boxes, and we get honey from those bees. So there will be a drawing to see who gets the honey. So make sure that you jump in on that.
Hey, Julie,
Yes,
someone wants to know how the students get to the seesaw activities.
okay, you have the link on the webpage, and then you assign it to them. I can't assign it to any students, but you can.
Folks, keep in mind that this is all optional.
Oh, yes.
This is, all of this is optional. This is not meant to be a burden on you. This is a free resource. You can do it together with your kids if you want, or you can have the kids do it at home. It's your call on this, okay? We've made it accessible to you and provided you as many resources as we can for this, but please don't take this as obligatory, because you have a science curriculum, a required science curriculum with a scope and sequence. We understand that, and that drives everything. This supports the science curriculum. So when those of you who haven't visited us yet, when you get off the bus with the kids, we take it from there, okay? I see Michaela out there. She was one of our early presenters out at the Outdoor Learning Center, and she was a rock star, and she's teaching now, which is awesome. And she'll testify that we take the kids in small groups through the experience, either in the center or outside the center, whatever it is. So this is meant to be reflective of that same kind of experience. It is not more work for you, please.
Yep. And if you are in a situation where you can take pictures of your kids enjoying what they're doing, tweet it out or send us pictures, because we love to see the kids using the materials and really enjoying what we have put our whole hearts into this year, is putting together these virtual visits. So please, if you can, take pictures. We would really appreciate that. And I want you to be curious about what's going on here. I want you to ask questions. I want you to, if you have any questions, please ask now or email. Like Chris said, you might come up with a question later. But if you need more kits or something like that, just let me know and we'll get them to you as soon as we possibly can. So what questions do you have? Somebody recognize their students on those pictures. Yes, we did deliver all of the kits today. So, okay, I see lots of comments that I love to see. Are there no questions? Did we have a short, a really short PD? I'm sure you hate that, right? I really appreciate you guys coming. It's so late in the year. I know you guys are tired, and this year has been not even a regular year. You'd be tired this time of year anyway, but this year has been ridiculous. And we love you so much. My heart goes out to you every day. I really appreciate what you do. I know what you've done is hard, and I want to thank you. And that's why doing this is just going to be hopefully easy for you. You guys can enjoy it. It's not something that your feet are held to the fire. Did you do it? Did you do it? That's not it at all. Like Chris said, it's not an obligation. It was just made so your kids could enjoy nature as much as they possibly could. And anyway, we love you guys very much. So anything else?
Guys, hit us up with some questions if you think of them later. This is a lot of stuff to process. I mean, you just got the stuff today. You may or may have not even had a chance to look at it yet. Right. But please keep in mind, I want to reiterate something Julie said regarding feedback from teachers. That drives our instruction. I mean, you have them all year long, all day long. We see them for just for a half day in their second grade education, but we want to make it significant and we want to make it meaningful. So the way we do that is we listen to you, and you come up with great ideas, you share them with us. And if somebody has a good idea, it's better to divide it than hide it. Julie, you have anything else?
I can't think of anything.
Well,
I'll prepare this for people to watch tomorrow, but that doesn't pertain to you guys. So we're good.
And Julie and I will hang out here for a little while. If you think of something else you want to share with us, we'll be here hanging out for a little bit. Okay. If not, have a great rest of the school year.
Chris, I just had a question. In the kits, I opened them. I saw that on the outside, it says the number of students that I have. So, but is there a copy for the teachers? Because I just pulled one of them out, but I didn't have time to count them all.
It has your number plus one.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. So and you get to make the masks too.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And you have your own game.
If we made a mistake, that was with whatever data we had when we put them together. So we've had schools that added sections. I mean, we'll adjust to meet your needs. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
You bet. Good to see you.
My pleasure.